Hey everyone, Richard Phillips back at you with some more modern action. Earlier this afternoon, M21 went online, and I was able to get my hand on some Frantic Inventories, which is a fixed AK for modern. It doesn't count cards in opponents' graveyards because they've changed how templating works on most cards, and it makes it castable in mirrors because AK is usually not castable in mirrors because you're drawing like between 5 and 7 cards and you'll deck yourself. So, Frantic Inventory, fixed AK, very good. We're playing this in a Counterbalance Miracle shell because I think it's the best for it. I also think the Terminus is very strong right now in the meta. This kind of list had some brief success during the Companion thing when it was playing Kahira in the sideboard. But obviously with the Companion change, we don't really want to play Kahira anymore. It's not the worst, but then we can't play creatures, and I like the sideboard Spell Queller and our new addition to Modern, Containment Priest, and excited to play with them. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is the best configuration for this deck. I haven't really played it at all, honestly. This is the first time adding the Frantic Inventories in over Omen of the Sea. And then the Containment Priest Spell Queller idea. I like Spell Queller with Teferi, and it's really good against a lot of the combo decks and big mana. A lot of the decks where you don't want Terminus in your deck have been very happy with it in those. We got Surgical Extractions, a lot of them, because Dredge is popping up, and especially with the new M21 card that Dredge is really happy about. We'll have to read it if it comes up, but we got some more Surgical Extractions than usual. And yeah, with that, we'll run into a league, and I'll see you at the beginning of round 1. All right, everyone, welcome to round number 1. We are on the draw. This hand has a Terminus in it. I tend to like to throw back a lot of Terminus hands with the new Mulligan rule. So I'm probably going to turn... I guess the Mulligan rule is not even that new anymore. But anyway, we'll throw back this Terminus. We'll throw back this hand with this Terminus. I'm pretty sure. It's got the Frantic Inventory. I do love me a Frantic Inventory. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to keep this one, and I guess we're going to put back a Path to Exile. Yeah, I guess. Not thrilled about this hand at all. Oh boy, and it's going to be like Jund or something, and the first hand would have been great. Ugh. Yeah. Birds of Paradise. Okay. It's not what I expected. It's cool birds. This is, I think, from that, from the Secret Lair. Alright, we will just play this tapped because we need our lands. Twilight Mire. Alright, I really don't know what's going on, so maybe we'll learn together. Is this like a Death Cloud deck or something? I don't know. Alright, sure. You can have a Geralf's Messenger, that's fine. Just play Land and Pass, I guess. And we'll probably Shock and Frantic Inventory to try to hit lands. Oh, I know what this deck is. This is the 1/1 counters deck. They play Yawgmoth and stuff like that in this deck. Okay. Yeah. This won like a Pro Tour. It was like one of the last Pro Tour, or not Pro Tours. This won a GP. It was like one of the last GPs before COVID, I think. It was probably in like January or February. And a bunch of people were playing it online at the time, but now then I haven't seen it in like 3 months. I haven't seen it since Ikoria at least. All right, the opponent does nothing, probably holding up. Yeah, probably holding up Collected Company, I guess. I'm pretty sure it plays Collected Company. So anyway, I'm going to Frantic Inventory. Opponent will cast it. I will force pitching Cryptic Command. Now, okay, they're not doing that. Making everything hard on me here. All right, there's the Yawgmoth that I expected them to have. All right, let's just play Hallowed Fountain here. And let's Inventory. Cool, we hit a land. All right. So now we just got to hit a Terminus. Come on, Terminus. Mana Leak. All right. 1/1 counter up to one target creature and draw a card. Alright, so it's up to one target creature. Up to one. Okay. So they don't have to target anything. It's good to know. Alright, so they attack with these two. So then I'm going to fetch for a basic here. And then I'm going to Frantic Inventory. If we hit Terminus, that's great. If not, I'm just going to path the Yawgmoth. So the opponent's thinking of maybe they want a Collected Company here. I'm just assuming they play Collected Company. I know they play... Wow, okay. That's weird. Alright, so they'd rather draw a card than deal me 3 damage, so that's fine. Are they going to kill their Birds of Paradise also? They might. Yeah, okay. Oh, and they remove the counter. Okay. And then they... Oh, I thought they were going to do it again. It's weird they didn't do it again. Okay. Alright, now they might Eldritch Evolution here. And we'll force this. Okay. So that it's Undying. So we'll force that and we'll pitch... So it comes back, but now we just have to deal with a 4/3, which is a little bit easier to deal with than some of the other stuff that was going to happen. Alright. I guess we'll just play an island here and pass. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. Yikes. The Yawgmoth was very good for them. Blood Artist. Whenever creature dies. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess we're just going to opt and try to find that Terminus. Yikes. Alright. Well, this could get ugly now. So now we're down to 3. And now we got to start tapping stuff down with Cryptic. Alright, I'm not going to counter birds. It's fine. I'm not going to counter an Aether Vial either. Alright. So we'll just play a land, and we gotta try to hit the Terminus again. Strangleroot Geist, okay. Still gotta hit the Terminus again. And we gotta do it now because we'll have to tap it down otherwise. If we don't hit. Come on, Terminus. No. Alright, so now we gotta just tap everything down. Of course, we draw another Mana Leak, which is completely useless here. And we just die. Alright. Well, we found a Containment Priest matchup. So, just unfortunate we couldn't find, the exact cards we needed in the order we wanted them. Alright, so they're black-green. So, Aether Gust is probably pretty good. So, we'll just put we'll put this in 3, and we'll make a pile of cards that we probably want. So Aether Gust seem really good, and Containment Priest, and possibly Timely Reinforcements. Like, we would have done really well with the Timely there. So that is a lot of cards that we want to bring in. Probably want to cut a Mana Leak, because we're bringing in the Aether Gusts already. Maybe cut, like, a Force. They have Aether Vial. Probably want to cut like all of the counterbalances, honestly. Counterbalance is a lot better in like control or other matchups like that, but not one with Aether Vial. Like as soon as you see Aether Vial, the counterbalances can probably come out. They're probably going to bring in some graveyard hate, so I'll cut the Search for Azcanta. And maybe we just want 2 Aether Gusts. Yeah, let's do that. We just want 2 Aether Gusts. I don't usually like cutting all of the counterbalances, but I guess against like humans or this or some other stuff, we'll cut them all. It is very good against some of the stuff that they're trying to do, like the, yeah. So it's a tough one, I think. It's good against some of the stuff they're trying to do and bad against others. But we do have a lot of cards we want to bring in. We want to try out Containment Priests. So normally, like, we wouldn't have Containment Priest in the sideboard. We would just play the counterbalances. But if they play like Eldritch Evolution, then Containment Priest is just a 2 for 0. Which is just great. All right. Yeah, we can keep this hand. Sure. It's a little slow. What's really funny is that our opponent's name is Dreams of Ashiok, and Ashiok, the 3-mana one from War of the Spark, is just so good against them. Alright, cool. Opponent not having a turn 1 play is wonderful. Oh, there's a Containment Priest. Perfect. Alright. We'll get to try that out, hopefully, at some point. We can frantically inventory as we look at our hand and realize that we have no lands. And hope that we can get one off of this or our draw step. So we have 2 looks at 22 lands. So 22 and 52. Yeah, that's, I mean, probably like 60% to hit a land or something in 2 draw steps. I really don't want to Aether Gust anything. Strangleroot Geist. Yeah, I don't think we want to. Yeah, we'll just take 2 damage. That's fine. Alright, we did hit our land. Good. Okay. So now we can Containment Priest plus Path, which is pretty cool. We also theoretically just take control of something. Alright, cool. Now we're kind of hitting our stride with lands. Being on the play is a very big deal with blue-white control. Terminus can catch you back up if you hit it, but obviously if you don't hit it, you know, your deck just sometimes looks a little anemic. What is this? Oh, Geralf's Messenger. Okay, that's fine. And then I guess we can path the Geralf's Messenger and just put the Strangleroot Geist on top. Yeah, let's just do that, I guess. We'll see if our opponent wants to draw it again or not. Because this way we can resolve Jace on a pretty empty board. I think we're going to want to resolve Jace. They'll have 5 mana, so they can play Strangleroot Geist plus Eldritch Evolution. Actually, that's a little scary. They put it on the bottom of their library. Interesting. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna pass here. I'm hoping that the Containment Priest pays off. If not, I guess we can draw with Archmage's Charm. Maybe we should have taken that opportunity to just play Jace, but we also could get really badly blown out by Veil of Summer this way, which they almost certainly have. All right, Wall of Roots is not scary. Another Wall of Roots is also not scary, sure. Strangleroot Geist, okay. And there's a black up. I don't know what that's for, but okay. And then I guess we'll just take this opportunity to draw our cards because we could hit Terminus. No, we hit Mana Leak and Entreat the Angels. Okay. And there's probably no need to fetch because we can always tap it for black. Alright, we draw a Plains. This way we have Mana Leak, which isn't very good. Plus Containment Priest up, which also isn't very good. So we can just get a path here. We can get, yeah, so we can path one of our opponent's creatures. Alright, so that's good. So we'll get Mystic Sanctuary, put Path to Exile on top of our opponent's library. Or on top of our library, rather. And then we will play Jace. Brainstorm. Put back Mana Leak. Entreat the Angels, play Plains, say go. And then just hope they concentrate a lot of firepower on the Jace here, I guess. Like our tentative plan. Our opponent can also chord. Yeah, here comes a chord. Yeah, Walverts is really good. All right, they're going to chord for 2. What's that? Just another Strangleroot Geist. Okay. All right, so now I think we need to, we let this resolve, and then when they sacrifice a Strangleroot Geist with that trigger on the stack, we path the Yawgmoth. Pretty sure that's how this works. Otherwise, they just get to draw, like, infinite cards. Or I suppose we could have pathed a Strangleroot Geist in response. Unsure if that was played right or not. I know Containment Priest shuts this whole thing down, which kind of stinks, because we had a lot of opportunities to cast Containment Priest, and I kept holding it off, and now we're just getting super punished for it. But I was really... Alright, so I guess we just don't have to do anything, so that's kind of cool. Alright, they both are attacking the Jace, so that's fine. Alright, so now I don't even know the best way to do this. So I think what we're supposed to do here is upkeep, we're supposed to path the Yawgmoth. Then they're going to sack a Strangleroot Geist. In response, we're going to cast Containment Priest. In response, they're going to sacrifice another Strangleroot Geist, and we're going to cast another Containment Priest. Okay, so those go on the stack. So now we will play Containment Priest. Okay, cool. So now that Strangleroot Geist doesn't come into play. Okay, that's still fine. It's not going to work. They're going to try to kill that. They're going to try to kill that Containment Priest. Okay, so then just in response, I'll play another Containment Priest. Cool. All right. And then all right, sweet. And then everything goes away. Cool. All right, so that stack was really confusing. I was trying to figure it out too, just along with you guys. I didn't feel particularly sure of myself with that we resolved that correctly, but it turns out we did, so that's good. All right, have another Yawgmoth, which is not great. So I think we're priced into Jace here. I don't even know if we're supposed to bounce or not. It's protection from humans. We can't attack into it or block it. I can't tell if we're supposed to bounce the Yawgmoth here. So we bounce the Yawgmoth. They sacrifice this, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then the next turn they play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they have, what, 3 mana left? Yeah, that's probably just the safest line. This might be playing a little scared. Okay. That's fine. This definitely could just be playing a little scared. I guess the positive side is that we're most likely to resolve Jace this turn, or to keep Jace around for another turn. Maybe we can set up a situation where we can make a couple of angels. Really interesting, weird game. Alright, opponent plays Yawgmoth. Then they probably sacrifice the Yawgmoth, or the Wall of Roots. Oh no, okay, I don't know what's going on. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Cryptic Command, alright. So now we will draw... Okay. And we will put... Entreat. So we'll do Mana Leak, Entreat. I guess play a land, and I think we're just supposed to pass here, right? Pretty sure. So then we can decide whether or not we want to make 4 angels next turn. Maybe I should have put them in the other order, so that way we can actually Cryptic Command to do something useful here. I can't really tell. There's a Strangle Root Geist. That's fine. Alright, they're going to sacrifice something and try to kill this Containment Priest. Alright, so this actually seems very good, because we can Cryptic Command to just bounce the Containment Priest and tap our opponent's stuff down. But we need to... I would like to make it a couple of targets, though. So I guess we can just make... Alright, this is fine, because so just nothing will happen. That's fine. Proliferate. Oh, interesting. Wow. So what do I do now? I guess I just let it happen. Weird. I could bounce my own Containment Priest to my hand and tap them. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we're going to return. Well, then they just sacrifice something else and then just counter the whole spell. Alright, so this just happens. Fine. Weird. Just so weird. Alright, so that gets... Okay, so that happens. And then I guess I'm going to take 5 damage here. Birds. That's fine. I guess we'll see where this attack goes, because we can always just bounce something with Cryptic Command. Jace, Jace. They're both going at Jace. Sure, I guess that just happens then. So weird. Alright. Yeah, I guess we're just going to rely on this Force Negation. I mean, our opponent is going to get a couple of draw steps here, and they theoretically can put together, you know, a couple of creatures and draw a lot of cards and, you know, gain a lot of life and stuff, but we'll hope that they can't get there. Make 4 dudes and have Force Negation backup. Just hope that these 4 things are good enough to win. They draw their card. If they draw like multiple Yogg or multiple of the 3-drop things that deal damage, we might be in trouble. But I think if they just draw like Strangleroot Geist type cards, I think we might be okay. Because they just won't have the mana to do everything. Well, maybe they will. Honestly, I just don't know. Our opponent having Thrashing Brontodon is a really good reason for us to have taken out the counterbalances, because there's nothing worse than trying to spend time and effort on a counterbalance and then just be able to blow it up. Although I guess they do need to sacrifice the Thrashing Brontodon, so Reclamation Sage would be a lot worse, but I guess that's okay. Opponents get low on time. 3... Most likely we're going to force whatever this is if we can. 6. Nope, it's too much mana. 5. 6. Is this like Grave Titan? They're paying for an X spell. Okay, there we go. Alright, cool. Whew. Alright, I am honestly just a little bit overwhelmed by this matchup. I just don't understand exactly what kind of role we're supposed to take and when we're supposed to do things. Our opponent's deck, I believe, is very difficult to play, because you can just win at certain times, and you can just, like, you know, chord for things and go for it, like, almost all the time. And it's one of those things where you're going to win, like, probably a majority of the time, but not every time, and that always makes it a little bit awkward, because, you know, if you're not going to win every time, maybe you shouldn't be going for it, because you're really just going to draw a bunch of cards, and you have to hit something in those cards. Alright, Terminus Hand with a Jace is sometimes a keep, but I think we need some interaction, so I am going to mulligan this, but it's probably close. This hand's good. And I think we're going to put back... Oh boy. We have a lot of different things we could put back in this hand. It's probably... The thing we should do probably is put back Cryptic or Jace. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll probably put back Jace, because I don't believe we're going to get the ability to cast it on curve. And I think we might have a little bit more luck with Cryptic. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Then we have an interesting decision here on what land to play. So even with this, that doesn't necessarily mean we'll get to play Mystic Sanctuary on turn, but I think the chances of possibly drawing a Terminus outweigh that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we haven't had a really good hand yet where we can just draw Terminus. Actually, I don't think we've shown our opponent Terminus at all. We drew a lot of cards both games, honestly. Was this one of the 3 damage dude? Yeah, okay. Or the 2 damage dude. Alright, get a Hollowed Fountain. Okay, if our opponent doesn't do anything, I suppose we can just frantically inventory. This Giralf's Messenger is a pretty good card. It is relatively modern, I guess, in terms of yeah, how old the card is, but it's certainly, yeah. It's a good card. Because, I mean, I'm already feeling the pressure of it. I've only taken 1 damage. I'm taking another. I'm going to 16, going to 13 right there, just off of that. That's even without the combo element. All right, come on, opponent. I'm up 7 minutes on you, and I don't even know the matchup. Maybe they don't either. I mean, I'm assuming they don't either. All right, that's really good for us. They're thinking, playing Birds of Paradise, I'm in. If they don't attack here, then that means that they're leaving up Cord, so I should be, I guess, a little bit careful. They still could be leaving up Cord, so they can Cord for 2 right now. So if they don't attack, I need to be careful. Okay, they do attack. So now they can only Cord for 1, so I need to be less careful. That's good. Alright. So now I will Frantic Inventory. Please no Terminus on top. Alright. Ooh, actually, that's pretty good. Alright, so now I need to decide whether or not I want to Teferi bounce the Giralf, or if I want to hold up Mana Leak. Yeah, we should probably just get... Yeah, we should probably just... Because actually our opponent can't even kill our Teferi currently. So I think I like that. And also, we don't have to play around as many things like Collected Company and stuff like that while it's out. So I do think I want to do this. Alright. And then bounce that. So we're saving ourselves 1 life and drawing a card here. Alright. And now I guess we just hope we don't die. But it seems hard. They just have 1 other card. If it's a Yawgmoth, we could be in trouble, though. We're definitely in a position where I think if we can draw Terminus this next turn, we probably can't lose. Cord for 2. Strangle Rootgeist. Okay. This is pretty good. And then they'll play the thing. Alright, so yeah, if we can hit Terminus here, then we're in great shape. If we don't, could get problematic. Or could be in trouble. Okay, we don't. However, all's not lost, so we can play a Plains here. And we can just tap our opponent down so that way they don't have as much mana during the turn also. So we'll just tap and draw. See if they sacrifice the Nurturing Peatland here. They probably should. Okay. Okay, this is good. Another Wall of Brutes. All right. Come on, Terminus. No. All right, well, this way we can at least play Jace. I think we want to do it this way and just play the Hollowed Fountain and use that for Path. All right, cool. So there's Terminus. So we're going to go land and Terminus. And then we're just going to play this. And we're going to hopefully let the Jace survive and use the Path to prevent us from dying. So maybe we can do a combination of the both. This has been a weird match. At least this game, our opponents played more like traditional spells, if that makes sense, I guess. Let's see. They're going after Jace and going after me. So I guess we'll just kill the one that's going after Jace. And I think the force negation means that we should be fine. So we go to 7. Hopefully our opponent has another creature. No, they don't. Must be another land. Alright, so then Terminus is going to be good here, as you might imagine. Alright, perfect. Opponent just concedes. Alright. No idea what we were doing, but Terminus got there. Match 1. Alright, everyone. Welcome to round number 2. We're on the play. This is an opt hand. Yeah, let's do it. So generally, I like to find white sources as early as possible because we don't play that many in the deck. And also, we always basically want to have Terminus going. But there's a chance I might make an exception here depending on what the deck is. Alright, looks like it's Shadow. Maybe it's not Shadow. No, it is Shadow. That's so weird. Alright. Well, I guess we'll definitely get our white source then. Because our opponent's going to kill us in pretty big chunks. There's a theoretical... Oh, okay. There's a theoretical chance that I'm going to be forcing this Thoughtseize. But it is not going to happen. Because our hand is very Thoughtseize proof right now, actually. If they want to take Frantic Inventory, it just makes other ones better. And all it does is replace itself right now anyway, so... Good luck, opponent. They took it. Nice. Alright, so now if we draw another one, we draw 2 cards. Cool. Opponent could be an Urza deck. Actually, keeping a hand with basic Swamp is really weird and leads me to believe that they're probably going for a slightly longer game, actually. So I might have to amend what I said before. So maybe they're not a Shadow deck. Actually, I'm going to bet that they are not a Shadow deck. That they're or a black-blue Urza control deck or a Wurza deck. Well, I think the Wurza deck's pretty bad. Drawing Terminus is usually not the best, but drawing Terminus with a Jason hand is not horrible. The issue, obviously, is that we don't have enough lands to cast it. So we have 21 good... We have 21 lands in the deck, plus 3 Opt, plus 3 Frantic Search. Okay, so maybe they are a Shadow deck, and they just had a basic Swamp to begin with. Yeah, alright. They're just a Jund deck. Okay. They're like a Traverse deck. Okay, so Grimflare has been played before in like the Traverse versions. I think the card's really bad though, but alright. And this is why our opponent probably shouldn't have taken this card. We're gonna draw 2. Cool. Obviously, it would have been better if we had a Plains, but that's okay. Opponent probably has 1 more basic in their deck, which is just good to note. If they play like a Liliana, we'll force it. If they play Traverse, we might force it. But yeah, Frantic Inventory already coming in real clutch here. I mean, they took one, so they thought seized one, and then we cast another one. So it's like they didn't cast a thought seize. All right, they put what, Teamer Battle Rage, 2 Teamer Battle Rages, and a Street Wraith in their yard. Okay. And then they thought seize us again. There's no way I'm supposed to force this, right? You know what? Let's do it. We're going to force this. It feels wrong, but I think we're supposed to do it. Because both the Path and the Jace are very important to this hand. And the Cryptic Command and the Force are both not. So now our opponent can play a Shadow here. Oh, Tarmogoyf, okay. Mana Leak. Alright, it's not terrible. Alright, opponent has too many lands, so that's good. I guess we Path the Tarmogoyf because it's a little bit bigger. And if they play like a Tarfire or something, I'll feel really bad. Okay. So the opponent will now... They should fetch here first. Okay, opponent fetch. There's like specific play patterns you have to use with Grimflayer. If you don't fetch here, then you don't get that land. Yeah, alright, sure. Weird. Oh, okay, they're doing it with the trigger on the stack. That's fine. Okay, they're just taking damage. Sure. So that's interesting. The opponent probably doesn't have a Shadow, and the reason why oh wow, they're a Mutagenic Growth Teamer Battle Rage type deck? Jeez. The reason why I say that is because the last turn they put the Street Wraith in the bin off of the Grim Flare, which was kind of weird at the time, and I didn't really understand why they were doing it, but now I think it makes sense. Alright, so now we're definitely just going to play this this Jace here and hopefully not die to like crazy combo stuff. They probably have like an Assassin's Trophy or something here, but we'll just put the Grim Flare on top and that's fine. Or back in their hand. Okay, they don't. That's good. So the goal was to untap with a Jace, and I think if we played that pretty much any other way with the Jace, there's no way we were untapping with it. And there's actually a good chance we were dying, so that's good. There's a chance we're just doing it. Oh, okay. Well, now not anymore. I was going to say there's a chance we're just putting the Grim Flare back in their hand again, but I don't think that's going to be the case now. All right, they have 2 cards in hand. Most likely they're both just like bad removal spells, or at least that's my hope. All right, if we draw a land here, we can Terminus on their turn. Yeah, we do. Okay, so we can do, we can actually put back Mana Leak and Terminus on top of that. Yeah. All right, and then we'll do this. And we'll put nothing on top. We'll say no. I guess if our opponent has like Bloodbraid Elf or something like that, we should wait until beginning of combat. So now I will, I'm going to return target permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card. So I'm going to return this to my hand and draw a card. Then I'm going to reveal this Terminus. Gonna cast the Terminus. Beautiful. Oh, I shouldn't F6. Another shadow. Okay. All right, so now I guess we have the question as to whether or not we want to, what we want to do here. But I think the safest is that we just want to Mystic Sanctuary the path to the top of our library, and then brainstorm. Oh, there's another Frantic Inventory too. Awesome. All right, so we'll put back Jace and I guess another Jace because they don't really matter. And then we'll pass the turn to our opponent. And I guess during our opponent's draw step, we will path their shadow. Cool. All right, so the opponent is playing like combo-y, Jund, Death Shadow stuff. So they got like Mutagenic Growth and Temur Battle Rage. So they do have some scary stuff. Aether Gust gets rid of green spells. Honestly, this deck's kind of set up really perfectly. I guess I don't like as many Force Negations as we have, so maybe we want to... Well, maybe with Temur Battle Rage, honestly, we need them all. I guess... Well, with Temur Battle Rage, Timely's not as good, but maybe we want just, like, one. Yeah, let's just do one over that Force. There it is. Okay, cool. If we can get down to Fairy, it really shuts off a lot of their capability to do combo stuff. They gotta, like, main phase it, and then we can use our removal spells better, so I think that seems important in the matchup. And with a deck mostly of 1 and 2s, it's going to be easy to manipulate the top of our library with Counterbalance to hopefully counter all of their stuff. And yeah, we're going to kind of keep the theme of Miracles. One of the really interesting thing about Miracles that pushes a lot of people away from the deck is that, like, with every other deck, like a Reclamation deck or something like that, you actively want to be drawing the Miracles, or you want to be drawing Wilderness Reclamation in your opening hand. Like that's how almost every deck is done, especially with the new London Mulligan, like Tron. You know, you only want to keep hands that have Tron. But with Miracles, you only want to keep hands that don't have the card that your deck's built around in it. And that's just incredibly weird for a lot of people. And like, I understand why. It is weird, but yeah, that's something that, you know, it takes a little bit of getting used to for a lot of people. All right. Then next turn, I guess we have a question as to whether or not we're going to be playing Counterbalance or we're going to hold up Mana Leak. Grim Flare. All right, I guess we'll just play Counterbalance. Oof. Rough time to draw that. So then next turn we have Opt plus Mana Leak up. So that's pretty cool. Our hand is very Thoughtseize proof, which is another big upside to playing this deck. If our opponent plays like Choke or something, we're probably in trouble. But I don't think that Shadow decks usually play Choke. It just seems like a bad use of sideboard spots. I could be wrong. I guess we also have to be worried about our opponent killing us out of nowhere at some point. I mean, they obviously didn't do it here, but they theoretically could at pretty much any point. They also could play, like... I mean, they're not playing Luris, so they're playing Street Wraith. That's why they're playing Luris. I was, like, trying to figure out a reason why they weren't playing Luris, but that makes sense. All right, so Grimflare's still tiny, so that's good. Opponent did like one of the cards on top of their library, though. So there's a Goyf. Terminus is on top. Cool. Miracles is so fun. All right. Okay, Mishra's Bauble, they can have that. No. Cool. I would love to reveal Terminus. Let's cast that. Then I guess there's a little bit of question as to what land we're supposed to play here, the Flooded Strand or the Plains. Flooded Strand theoretically can get back a Mystic Sanctuary, but the Mystic Sanctuary requires an extra land before we can do that. So I think playing the Plains here might be a little bit loose. It is definitely better if this game is going a lot longer. I guess that's a better way of stating this. That's what I should have said. All right, Polluted Delta is on top. Do we want to mana leak this? Probably not. We'll just let this resolve. And then we will most likely opt to the top when the opponent casts the next spell and hope to counter whatever's under it. I don't even know what the opponent's supposed to take here. Probably mana leak. I don't want to run into like a... Oh, they took opt. Okay. It's reasonable too. All right, Shadow. So we can either counter it, or we can just Frantic Inventory and hope to get lucky. Countering it's probably just like the right thing to do. They have it? Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Stupid Veil of Summer. Okay. Okay. So now, unfortunately, really coming into the problem with the this basic Plains. This basic Plains has always kind of been a thorn in my side, and this isn't an exception in this league here. So this we have to get a land here that will then let us use the Flooded Strand to put the Terminus on top of our library, so I don't even think we can cast this Frantic Inventory this turn, which is also kind of stinky. I suppose we theoretically can if our opponent's casting spells that we feel like we need to counter. But this land can't get Mystic Sanctuary because we don't have enough. They're going to Mutagenic Growth the Death Shadow. It's probably worth countering, right? Island. Okay. Alright, so they're going to Temur Battle Rage the Death Shadow. So we're going to fetch on the stack. We're just going to cast Veil of Summer now. So that means that things can't be countered. Okay. Oh, I see what they're trying to do. Interesting. Okay, so what they're trying to do is... Wow, this is a weird place. All right, we have 18 minutes, so we have time to think about this. So the opponent is trying to make it so that we can't accidentally counter this Temur Battle Rage. So what I can do in response, because we know that the top card of our library right now is a land. So what we can do right now is we can play Frantic Inventory to draw that land and try to counter Veil of Summer. Oh, so that's just bad, because we know what the top card is. Yeah, so we just let this resolve, then. We're going to use Counterbalance's ability. No, well, might as well, sure. So it's still that island. Okay, so now our opponent will draw a card. Then we're going to put... Or we're going to get this Prairie Stream, I suppose. and then we will say yes, is a Mystic Sanctuary. So then we are just dead. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because we can Frantic Inventory to just draw that, but then that doesn't do anything. Okay, cool. So we know that our opponent has multiple Veil of Summers, so that's good to know about, for sure. Does it change anything about what we're doing? And I don't think so. I guess it makes Aether Gust a little bit better. Yeah, actually it does make Aether Gust quite a bit better. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. We'll bring in an Aether Gust. Because Aether Gust can still target all those things. And even if they Veil of Summer it, the Aether Gust, as long as the spell's on the stack, it doesn't target the spell. It just, you choose whether or not you want to put it on the bottom, which is kind of cool. All right, this is a Terminus hand, but I think we'll keep it just because we got to search for his content and stuff. It's possible we shouldn't have led with that. Possible, because all we need is one more land to turn it on. So maybe that was wrong. Wow, it's a lot of baubles. They really like the top card of their library, I think. Yeah, they want to draw it. Okay. Well, good for them. Alright, now definitely regretting putting that on top, but it's okay. We'll survive, I think. Because we could have the Mystic Sanctuary in hand, have one more life, and so we could have the Flooded Strand on the battlefield, and Mystic Sanctuary and Misty Rainforest in hand, which is probably a little bit of an improvement on this. But at the same time, with playing 3 Mystic Sanctuaries in the deck, I think the fact that one of these can get the Mystic Sanctuary later rather than play a Mystic Sanctuary from hand might even be better. So it's probably close. I don't know. It is kind of funny that this deck actually has 7 cards that you don't want in your opening hand. You don't want Mystic Sanctuaries for the most part in your opening hand, and you also don't want any of your Miracles in your opening hand. So you're like looking to draw a perfect hand almost has like, you know, a bunch of cards that almost do nothing, and then you just want to draw. Ooh, wow. Okay. Weird. All right. There's so few targets for that in this whole deck. All right. Sure, I guess. I mean, not much we can do about it, right? So now we'd like to draw some action. No, like, Liliana or anything here. All right, Shadow we can deal with. Small Shadow. I guess we'll just opt here. We're looking for action. Cryptic Command's good action, so we'll do that. And we'll just path this here. That's fine. Just remove the possibility of dying out of nowhere. We generally just want to clear... Oh, into Jace. Perfect. Yeah, this is exactly what we were hoping to do, is clear the way, top deck something really good, and then be able to hopefully capitalize on that. Like, the opponent might be able to... I guess they can't Abrupticate. They'd have to, like, Assassin's Trophy it. A couple of Terminuses. Yeah, we can just go top on the Terminuses, so that way we can just, like, naturally draw them off the top. Bolt it. Sure. I think it's take a Cryptic Command. Okay. Pretty nifty by the opponent there. Especially if, yeah, they got nothing else going on. Alright, so we will play our fetch land because we might just have to put something on top of our library here if our opponent doesn't have creatures. I don't know what they could have. It must be a lot of lands or something. Or they're just playing around us having a Terminus on top. It does appear they have a lot of lands, though. All right. Oh, they could have... oh, interesting. So they could have... Veil of Summer. So if that's the case, maybe we want a Mystic Sanctuary and opt. Yeah, I'm just assuming that they have Veil of Summer, so I'm just going to Mystic Sanctuary opt. We'll just play this tapped. Alright, cool. That's a lot of lands for our opponent. Going all the way down to 6. Alright. We cannot... Wow. So many lands. Alright, and we cannot draw our Entreat the Angels right now because I didn't shock in the Hallowed Fountain. So I guess that just means I just want to untap here. There we go. It was on top too. Look at that. How many of you would have opted out in the crowd here? Like, I'm just curious. How many of you would have cast that opt end of turn? And I'm assuming that they've got a bunch of cards in their hand that are meant for, you know, different usages than 4 angels. They probably have a couple of they probably have like a land and a removal spell and a Veil of Summer in their hand. Okay, there's a Kroxa. That's fine. I suppose we want to get rid of the Terminus. Oh, they're just going to flash back the Kroxa and concede. All right, cool. Sure. I mean, I suppose they could have Fog. I wonder what the chances they have a Fog. So I also didn't cast that opt there because I didn't want them to draw a card off of their off of a Veil of Summer, which I'm assuming at this point they have. They've seen like every card in their whole deck. That's really funny, honestly. All right. So I guess we just attack with 3 in case they have a Fog. Sure. They don't even draw a card off of it. Figured they had that Veil of Summer, which is why we got the opt, and then... Nice. All right. So that went really well. We lined it up perfectly so that the Entreat the Angels was cast, and we didn't cast the opt. And we played around Veil of Summer really well. And good. All right, on to match number 3. All right, everyone. Welcome to the 3rd round. We're currently undefeated. We're keeping, like I said, a perfect hand with no Terminus, no of the other stuff. Opponent is probably playing Storm, which means that we want to find our counterbalance as quick as possible. They could be playing other things, of course, but Serum Visions and a snow-covered island generally mean Storm because they play a mix of islands and snow-covered lands. It used to be at one point that Serum Visions and snow-covered could literally mean anything, but I think we're a little bit past that point now. All right, so Force Negation is really good. Forcing a way for them to flash back cards. What's that card called? Past in Flames is just the nuts. So we're looking to probably do that. Unfortunately, if our opponent goes creature here, one of the Storm Reducer creatures, we could be in big trouble, but it doesn't appear they have it. Also still appears that they're Storm. There's an off chance that they're actually a Blue Moon deck. So we probably want to theoretically play around that by playing this Misty Rainforest next turn. I know that a blue-red Thing in the Ice deck won the last challenge this weekend. Or 2 of the challenges this past weekend. Or 1 of the 2 challenges this past weekend. One of those. I think there's 2. I don't know. So we're going to fetch around Blood Moon. I don't think they were main decking Blood Moon, but they certainly could have been, so... Alright, this definitely... like, it honestly still could be both, but it does look like Storm to me. Yeah, especially with all of that. I wonder if Storm wants Frantic Inventory. Probably not, but the card certainly is fun. Sure. All these things happen. Alright, and we'll play Island, and we will Frantic Inventory. Cool. Not the best time for a Terminus. Just telling the opponent exactly how good the card is, because it's pretty bonkers. Yeah, that seems kind of insane, and I tend to agree with them. We haven't really come up with that in a specific, or in the matchup. Just built you white and paper. I'll tell them to join. I'll tell the opponent after match that that they're going up on YouTube. All right, land. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. Oh, there's another one. Perfect. Right on time. All right. Well, actually, not right on time, but right on time would have been last turn. But we're still very happy about this. I'm just going to go Hallowed Fountain here. So, unfortunately, I'm not sure we can play this. Yeah, I'm not sure we can play the Teferi here. I think we might just have to hold up Counter Magic, because we could very easily die if we play the Teferi. So, I guess we'll just discard a Path here to hand size. Seems, unfortunate, but I guess it's kind of what we got to do here. Opponent's definitely playing Storm. Opponent plays Storm and does nothing here. Interesting. So they probably have gifts that they're looking to resolve at the end of the turn. And we will just untap. We draw another one. Okay. We can put a Frantic Inventory on top, or we can put like an Opt on top. I guess we just don't want to put anything on top. Now we probably want to... Now, actually, I think we do want to play Teferi. So this way we have two counter spells up. Yeah, this is probably fine then. Alright, so that resolves. And then we'll just plus this, and we'll pass. Opponent still with nothing. Alright, so there's a Baral. That's fine. Sure. I don't think we want to go off on the path things, because our opponent can just cast so many spells in response, and we're not getting anywhere. I'd rather hold up multiple counter spells. So this is fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's not great. The one thing that they can't do is their remans are just completely shut off by Teferi, so that's really cool, actually. So when we counter something, it is just being countered. And they can't cast things in... Oh, I guess they can. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. All right, so we'll just force this pitching Cryptic Command. And they can't remand because... Because our cards are good. And then during our upkeep, we can just put the Force Negation back on top of our library. And then path them. Seems pretty good. It's not going to work. Because it's a fairy. Exile. So hopefully that was just like a 4 for 2, where they just threw away 3 rituals and then... Yeah, exactly. Just hope that was like, you know, they just threw away all those rituals and the thing. So 4 for 2, exactly, yeah. Sure, they can have an opt. That's totally fine. And then if we go to the end of the turn, I will just path it, I guess. We don't even have to do it next turn. We can just path it and hold up 2 counter spells again. Put it on top. So that's a little scary. Are they ritual again? Sure. Are they just going to Grape Shot? Oh, another Past in Flames. Oh, this one could get a little bit rough, actually, now. Alright, so we... Mystic Sanctuary, putting Force Negation on top. Yikes. Alright, so then we say yes to that. Our opponent has, so this costs 5, so they can cast it, but they can't cast any of the spells from it, so we're just going to counter this, I guess, is what our plan is here. Then they would have to have a land or... Okay, so it looks like it's going to work then. Good. Okay. So they can cast it again, but it's going to take all their mana to do it, because it's 5, and then they won't have a way to go off again. They also don't have a way to turn red mana into any other color. So if they have Grape Shot in hand here, I mean, they can deal us 11. Just tell our opponent. I mean, it's not exactly true, but I mean, if there's a card or under the Archmage's Charm is another spell, then a blue spell, then it would have been true. So we'll just say it's true. But okay, so they're just going after us for a lot of damage. That's fine. Are they going after? Oh, they did go after the Teferi. Okay. Maybe I should have done upkeep. Oh well. Alright, nothing on top. This is good. Oh wait, nope. That was almost really bad. I don't know what's happening there. What happened there? Did I just like... That was so weird. Alright. I think I skipped through my turn, and then I think I almost skipped through my opponent's turn. I have no idea. I must have done yield until next end step or something. That's so weird. I was trying to turn off my yields, and I think I made it worse. Alright. Weird. Sleight of hand's fine. Alright, I think we'll just opt here. Prairie Stream to the bottom. Island's not good either. We could just get Archmage's Charm. Nah, I think we'll just take a draw step. There's Jace. Alright. This is why we do this. Jace. Cool. We'll go Plains and Terminus, and we'll play an island and pass. Cool. All right, and then at the end step, we will sacrifice this. We'll get Mystic Sanctuary. We'll put Archmage's Charm on top. And then we'll Frantic Inventory to draw 3. Cool. So now we're like in the late game here where we're just looking for a win con. Oh, okay. Counterbalance is really good. Alright, so we will put back 2 lands, I guess. We don't need those. And then we'll play Counterbalance. Oh, I should have floated a 2. I haven't done this in so long. Alright, so now we don't have another Mystic Sanctuary, and unfortunately we don't have a 2 on top of our library. If we have a 2, this gets really easy really quick, but... Alright, so now upkeep... I'll fetch, because we just have lands on top, and we don't want them. So we do want to float one of these mana leaks and put it on top. Alright, and we'll draw, and we'll float mana leak. So we'll do Terminus and mana leak. And I guess we'll play the search. And we'll pass the turn. And then I guess starting next turn we can... Well, I guess if we just keep floating the 2s on top, we probably can't lose. I mean, I guess they could... He could do like a really crazy grape shot turn. Huh. So yeah, we'll put Mana Leak in the graveyard. Yeah, we'll transform as Kanta, sure. Alright, so we'll put back Polluted Delta, or no, not Polluted Delta, we'll put back land and I guess we'll just put the inventory on top, that's fine. Oh, we should play Teferi. We'll use this as a shuffle. Just take the Frantic Inventory, any order. Might as well cast it. Draw 4 cards. Okay. I guess we'll float a 2 on top. Oh, okay, so there's Entreat. All right, so we'll go. Do we have an opt in hand? If we have an opt in hand, this gets easy. All right, so we'll float a 2 on top, and then we'll put this below it. So we'll do this, then this, and then we'll play a land, and then we'll pass the turn here, and we'll just keep the 2 floating, and then on our opponent's end step, we'll opt, and we'll make dudes. So we'll get rid of Polluted Delta, Terminus, this. Okay, that's enough. Cool. Reveal Entreat. Just make 6, that's fine. It's enough to kill our opponent, which is all that we needed to do here anyway. Okay, can't cast spells because of Teferi. Cool. Alright, so now we've got, in this matchup, we've got, I don't like the Terminus. There's a chance the Terminus are fine, but you know, all right. So this says whenever a non-token creature, so unfortunately it doesn't work the way we want it to, which is kind of with Empty the Warrens, but that's all right, I guess. And then so we definitely want those, and then this is optional and possibly good enough. We probably don't want Jace. We don't want too many like 4s in our deck here. Search for Azcanta is probably not great, especially with the Spell Queller plan. So maybe we don't want the Aether Gusts then, just because we have so many cards that we're bringing in. We even have 2 more cards that we have to cut, so maybe a Cryptic Command because it's just so expensive, and a Path to Exile because they're probably going to remove a lot of their creatures. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. I like this. If our opponent just goes for like an early Empty the Warrens, we could get in trouble, but I guess we just got to hope they don't go for it, because I don't want to bring in a bunch of Terminuses or keep Terminuses in this matchup just because our opponent might go for Empty the Warrens, especially game 2. Like, when they're on the play, they probably are going to try to fight through it. But I don't think we saw forces from our opponent. So, or not forces, we saw fetches from our opponent. Wait for our opponent here to finish up. So the Aether Gusts are good against our opponent's B plan, which is usually some sort of red enchantment, like Aria Flame. So it is good against that. But also, so is like Teferi and Force Negation and Mana Leak. So like a lot of those are also good against it. Also, sometimes they have like Blood Moon and stuff like that, which Aether Gust is usually good against, but we have a lot of basic islands in this deck. Notably, we can't cast Entreat the Angels under a Blood Moon, so that is worth noting. This deck, obviously, has a lot of advantages with the counterbalances and the Frantic Inventories, but one thing it does not have a lot of is win conditions, and we kind of noticed that the last game, where we're like drawing most of our deck here, and we don't have it here. I was gonna say, oh, he submitted with one, or they submitted with 1 second left. They submitted 61 with 1 second left. Okay. Yeah, Force Negation, Mana Leak, let's do it. This is relatively soft to a Blood Moon, but I just hope they don't do that. Spell Queller. Like me a Spell Queller. Spell Queller is a great card. Alright, so if the opponent plays a Ritual here, I probably have to force it. No, okay, they just go Baral. That's fine. I guess. It's not great, but it's fine. Yeah, I guess we're just shocking. We might have to shock next. Well, I don't think the 2 damage is going to matter. Let's just put it that way. I really don't think the damage is going to matter. Alright, let's see what the opponent does here. See if they attack or not. They do. See if main phase they go for like an Empty the Warrens line. If they do, we could be in some trouble here. No, okay, they're not. So this is good for us then. So we'll take inventory. Another Force Negation's excellent. Another Frantic Inventory is excellent. I keep calling it Take Inventory because I've tried to play Take Inventory so many times in Modern. It's the sorcery speed equivalent of this. And it's just really bad. So, alright, so now we have the Spell Queller, which is very good. Or we can just Frantic Inventory. Okay. So our opponent doing nothing, so we'll just inventory more. Another Force Negation, okay. And Polluted Delta, alright. So we'll just play Teferi, I guess, so we don't have to discard the hand size. See if our opponent remans this. They Mystical Disputed, okay. It's fine. I just didn't want to have to discard the hand size. We theoretically could get in a little bit of trouble here, but we do have 3 forces, so we'll hopefully be fine. Maybe I should have just thought about discarding the hand size. I was just so anti-discarding the hand size, but we probably could have discarded this Jace and everything would have been fine. Although resolving the Teferi would have been big game. Opponent does not have, I mean, we're up a few minutes on our opponent. They don't have a huge amount of time. So if this game does go to 3, there's a chance that, you know, if it grinds on and they're looking to top deck something, they might not have enough time to execute it perfectly. Especially if they screwed up game 1 because they cast things in the wrong order. Opponent topped. Am I supposed to force this? I can't force this. That I could have forced, I guess. Yeah, this seems like an Empty the Warrens, and it seems like we're probably dead. Oh, pieces of the puzzle. Interesting. Alright, so that I think I'm going to force. I'll pitch a Jace. Sure. I think I want to force this one too. We'll just continue to force. Seemed good the last time, so this time we'll force pitching a Mana Leak. Because as of right now, they can't empty the Warrens. Oh, now they can empty the Warrens. If their last card was empty the Warrens, I was going to be so mad. Alright, good. Cool. Alright, now we will go ahead and get a white source. Cool, so now we have Spell Queller plus Mana Leak up, which is excellent. Alright, so our best draw would be Frantic Inventory. We can put Frantic Inventory on top. It's probably not horrible, right? I think the next spell our opponent casts, we're just going to Spell Queller, just because we want to get something out there that blocks Baral so we don't die to like a random Grape Shot. As funny as that sounds. So there's a Ritual. I guess we'll let that one go. But the next thing, our opponent doesn't just cast a Ritual. All right, there's an Empty the Warrens. Okay. So we will Spell Queller this one. That's the copy. So that way, if they kill it, the other one doesn't just, you know, occur. All right, cool. All right, now we will frantically inventory. Drawing another Frantic Inventory because good things always come in pairs. We'll do it, I guess, at the end of our opponent's turn. But they don't have good attacks anymore because of the Spell Queller. I will just block that. This is like a Aria of Flame. They have one card in hand. Might just be a Grape Shot. No, there hasn't been any other spells cast this turn. Frantic Inventory is so good. I'm drawing 3 cards here. Could be a Gifts. If it's a Gifts, I guess we'll force it. There we go. There's 3. Cool. Unfortunately, all 3 lands, but one of them will let us roll it again. Or 2 of them will let us roll it again. So that's positive. And we have the ability to cast all of these spells next turn that we have in hand. And then we'll draw 3 more cards next turn with the inventory. Boop. We have surgical extractions in our deck. We just haven't seen them. It's pretty good. We'll just wait one more turn and then we'll resolve Teferi, but this way we get to hold up like all of these counter spells. So I'm not super scared about dying this turn. Because of that, if we did cast Teferi and they had like a remand or something, things could get a little bit interesting, I think. But with the way that everything's lined up here, I think we're much less likely to die. Yeah, we're probably good spell quelling that. We just don't want them drawing anything here. Then once we get the Teferi online, we can just loop the spell quellers, and that'll be it. All right, so we do want to tick up the spell quellers to start. Or the Teferi to start, rather. But then we can minus it at some point to bring back the spell queller. All right, cool. And that's that. All right, so we're 3-0. On to round number 4. I'm going to kick Magic Online. It was lagging out on me a little bit there towards the end. We've been playing some longer games, and I'll see you on the other side of a reboot. All right, everyone. We are 3-0 in the final 2 matches of our early M21 scene. All right, so our opponent has Giganta. If our opponent's playing Tron, then our version of Miracles is really bad against Tron. We don't have any Field of Ruins. I'm going to keep this hand, assuming that they are on some sort of Tron deck. No, they're on... This is a Giganta deck. They're not on Burn, I don't think. They're just on like a mono red. Okay. Wow, alright. I assume they were on something a little bit slower because I did keep a slower hand, but... Well, we can always draw Terminus, so that's good. But, alright. Looks like we're going to be onto an early sideboarding here, though. What is going on? Bomat Couriers. Everywhere. Why are they even playing Giganta? That's so much mana. That's 8 mana. Alright. Yeah, you got it. Alright, 2 lands. It's a good light up stage for me. Or we're going to go with Hallowed Fountain. I said Hallowed Fountain. And it's going to be tapped. Cool. Alright, let's just hope they don't do anything too crazy. If they do, we can Frantic Inventory main phase to try to find a force. It's weird they didn't play the Sacred Foundry. It's weird. It's actually really weird. And then they just got a mountain. So what's the white for? Sideboard cards, I guess? Alright, what would be ideal is if they just play a bunch more creatures here. There's one. Okay. I guess that's not a bunch. I wanted them to tap out so that if we do draw something... Because currently they can just do the... It's a really cool trick. If you sacrifice both Bomat Couriers in response, you can actually just draw all 5 cards. You have to activate one and then in response sacrifice another. Which is just honestly really cool. Oh, there's a Counterbalance. Okay. Mana Leak. Alright, so we have a few options here. We can Teferi Time Raveler the Soulscar Mage back to our opponent's hand. We can just hold up Archmage's Charm. We can steal the Soulscar Mage with the Archmage's Charm. That's the new plan. Alright. Alright, so we'll see how many spells they cast, I guess. We also can just counter something with the Archmage's Charm. Opponents are very chatty today. Alright, Firebolt me, sure. Ow. Light up the stage. Sure. Another Boatmat Courier, okay. I love Archmage's Charm for this. This is like my favorite use of Archmage's Charm is to steal creatures. Gain control of your Soulscar Mage. Good luck attacking. Yeah, that's what I thought, bozo. Oh, cool. Alright, now we gotta hit Terminus. Terminus. Ugh, we missed it. Alright, so we can Misty Rainforest and play Counterbalance. Alright, I kind of like this. So then if our opponent plays Abbot of Carroll Keep, we can just put a 2 on top. I think this is good. Yeah, see if they cast this Abbot or not. If they do, we'll just put a 2 on top. Okay, they're going to wait until post-combat. So we want to get rid of... Huh. I don't even know which one I'm going to get rid of. What are they doing? Alright, I'm confused now. They're going to Burst Lightning us. Okay. Terminus enters the revealed zone. I don't even know if we want to do that. Because our opponent gets to draw so many cards. Alright, so we'll just take that damage. Then they're going to bolt us. And then bolt us again. Wow. And then they have an Abbot on top, so we can just wipe the whole board. I guess we'll do that. Reveal Terminus. Fetch. Get our Prairie Stream. Cast our Terminus. Put everything under. Then hope to counter this, I guess. No, it's Flooded Strand. Okay, so now we're down to 1. So we need to be very careful for the rest of the match. They have a Firebolt in their graveyard, which is also good to note. We can just Jace. So we can Jace, we can plus on them, or we can try to float a 1, or we can plus on them. I think we gotta get lucky here. This is not good. All right, so we'll go. I guess we'll just put a 2 on top then. Yeah, this could be bad. Yeah, Seal of Fire is good. All right, they got it. Man. Let's see if we, like, plussed on them there, and they, you know, they could have pretty much done anything except for Seal of Fire there, and they would have been fine. You know, like, any other spell also kills us. And if they drew a land, then the following land would have made Firebolt viable. So, we were in a pretty rough spot there, I think, overall. All right, so these cards are good. This, I don't think, does anything in this matchup. Alright, so what do we want to cut? We definitely want to cut a Jace. Probably want to cut a Cryptic Command because it's just really slow. Search for Azcanta is also slow. Fairy's probably fine. Can't really cut the inventories unless we cut all of them. We could probably... Well, they are mostly 1s and 2s. Maybe we can cut a Counterbalance because 3's already a lot. And then... maybe a Force Negation just because the number of things we're forcing is, like, kind of low. Like, forcing a bolt kind of sucks. We'd rather just, like, Aether Gust the bolt. Yeah, it's unfortunate because all we needed to do was find a 1, and we probably would have been fine that game. All right, I got a mulligan hand with no... whoa, this is a weird hand. All right, we don't need a Frantic Inventory, I think. Opponent also mulligans to 6. All right, so we're definitely going to opt here, and we're going to try to look for a white land. If a blue land is on top, I think we're going to bottom it. Okay, Soul Scar Mage. Okay. Wow. Is this an exception to our rule? I think it is. I think that this hand is so good if we can draw a land here for Counterbalance. Oh boy. Now we can be in a real rough spot though. Wow, this could be bad. All right, we drew it. Whew. All right, good. So I guess now we need to decide whether or not we're opting here. And we definitely want to get a white source. So maybe because we just want to get a white source, we don't want to opt here. Yeah, I think maybe that's the key here. We want a white source. We don't want to opt here. Mana Leak. Yikes. Alright, we'll opt. Looking for a land. That's a land. And I guess we'll just pass holding up Mana Leak. Not looking great here. I think I'm supposed to Mana Leak this. Probably. Yeah, alright. It's good, because that could have been a lot of damage otherwise. We're welcome to sacrifice the Lava Dart here. That's fine. That's Flooded Strand, alright. Counterbalance. So now we got to have them put a spell on the stack, a 1 on the stack, and then we can put an opt on top, and then we can Aether Gust one of their spells. Of course they put a 2 on top. Damn. This is probably fine, honestly. So we'll... Mystic Sanctuary, the Mana Leak. wait until blocks here, see if they go for this lava dart. If they do, that's great for us. If they don't, all right, they do, so that's good. So we can just Aether Gust this one. All right, so we will not use Counterbalance's ability. So now we have 2 mana leaks on top of our deck, or in our hand, and our opponent put the Soulscar Mage on the bottom of their library, okay? So we're definitely going to Aether Gust this, because we need to avoid taking damage at all costs. They put it on top, okay? Soulscar Mage is not countered, but countered via mana leak, okay? So now we have Cryptic Command on top. Or in our hand, rather. So we have no idea what's on top, but our opponent is going to cast a Monastery Swiftspear, and we will reveal a Misty Rainforest. Alright, so we will counter this and draw a card. And now we can put a card back on top of our library to counter something. So we have a lock, a little setup. The issue is that we're at 5 life, and we need to find a timely reinforcements. Okay. So opponent's not doing anything, which is good for us. We're just going to untap. Terminus is not great. Play another land. Okay, the opponent has 4 cards in hand now. Opponent has 5 cards in hand now. Alright, there's another land. There's a Seal of Fire. So we're going to fetch in response. See if our opponent casts another spell. They do. It's a Lava Dart. I guess we'll just get a 1 mana spell, and then we'll fail to find with this one. Oh, I suppose we do have to fetch here. So I guess regardless, we'll still Mystic Sanctuary and we'll put an Opt on top again. Cool. So all we did was like shuffle an Opt back into our deck. Sure. So we really need to find that, what do you call it, the timely reinforcements. Does that mean we need to main phase this? Probably. Oh, Aether Gust. Okay. That's pretty good. Firebolt. Path to Exile on top. There we go. Cool. So we don't have to use our counter here. Burst Lightning. Force Negation. Yeah, I guess we'll just Mana Leak this. Actually unsure if this works. Because we have to Aether Gust the Lava Dart here. So I wonder if they get to choose to put that on top of their library or not. I don't think they do, but maybe they do. It enters the Exile zone. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I guess. Oh, it's the Force Negation, right. Okay. So now we need to not get hit by a burn spell this turn. If it's a creature, we can deal with that. But there's a 3 on top. Oh, good. All right, perfect. What are they casting? Oh, they have Luris. Oh, they have Gigantha. Okay. Forgot about that. Okay, so they got Gigantha in hand. Sure. Nope, they're 1 mana off from it. They also have that stupid Firebolt that we have to worry about, too. All these flashback spells are making it hard. Alright, so do we just cast Timely Reinforcement so that we don't just die to random stuff? Probably. Cool. Alright, so we go up to 9 mana, which is great. Nope, they drew their land. They are going to get to cast Gigantha. Alright. We don't have any 5s in the deck, so I guess I won't reveal the top card of our library. Pretty sure we don't have any 5s. And I suppose we should take a draw step in case it's a Terminus. No, it's Path. Alright. So I guess I will draw step Path them. This is a really absurd game. What's this? Oh, they're just going to cast that Firebolt. Mana Leak. Okay. Just absolutely wild. Alright. I guess I did cut... I cut a Jace. Right? Yeah, we only have 2 Jaces in the deck. Okay. I didn't pitch any. But we also haven't drawn, like, any of our action spells. We're just kind of treading water here. All right, Frantic Inventory is I guess, a relatively good start. I'm going to hold it just because it'll let us mix up the top of our library. All right, so Seal of Fire revealed, and there's an island on top of our library. I guess I'm going to force that. This could be wrong, but I just want to, you know, it's worth some damage, so we'll just use it now. See if our opponent fires off a flurry of burn spells here. They don't. So I think I just draw this island. I didn't want to cast the Frantic Inventory because then our opponent would definitely fire off burn spells, but I think this way they're a little less likely to just fire off burn spells. But we were in a very exposed position there. Alright, so there's a Soulscar Mage. We will reveal a Terminus, okay. So this actually means that this Frantic Inventory is going to do some work here. Alright, Polluted Delta is a shuffle, so that's probably worth keeping on top. But unfortunately, we're out of Mystic Sanctuaries. There's a chance this deck should play 4. We've run out of it in a few matchups now. Bowmat Courier. Plains on top. Okay, that's not good. And we will path the Bowmat Courier with the trigger on the stack. They only have 6 lands in their deck. That's so funny. Alright, and then we will fetch. So this is going to drop us down to 4, but I think it's important to not draw that Plains. Yikes. Like, all these cards have to exist in this deck, but at the same time, we're really not drawing the cards we need. I wonder what our opponent's drawing. There's Plains. Right, I'm going to play it because this means that our Jaces get a little bit better. Or not get a little bit better. We have enough cards in hand where the Jaces are fine, but we can do more things once we play Jace. I don't like this. Abbot of Carol Keep. There we go. Got a Frantic Inventory on top. That's... Counterbalance coming in clutch, you know, very, very infrequently, but Frantic Inventory. Yep, that's about right. Alright, let's just play this and we'll just hold it. So that way we don't just die to some random stuff. Okay, we could be in trouble now. No, I guess not quite yet. Alright, cool. So now our opponent can't necessarily cast anything, so we'll just minus this Teferi on nothing. Alright, there's only 20 cards left in our deck. I mean, I guess there is only 2 Jaces, but still, like, you know, there's 1 Cryptic Command, 2 Frantic Inventory, the Jace, like, yikes. Alright, cool, Path to Exile on top. That was honestly kind of needed, which is really unfortunate that we needed that, but yeah. This is a really excruciating game with Miracles. Unfortunately, post-board the deck can sometimes look like this, which is, you know, not ideal. They flash back the Firebolt, we can mana leak it. Alright. Nope. Or they get to survive another turn. Alright, Archmage's Charm is very nice. Cool. Alright. So now we have an actual hard counter for something, which is wonderful, because we didn't have that before. Wonder what kind of flurry of burn spells our opponent's saving up over there. It's probably a lot. All right, there's Jace. Oof. All right, cast Jace. Opponent can't react to it really. All right, and now we want to float a 1 if at all possible. So we're going to put Terminus, and then we're going to put Path to Exile. And then we got to plus this to Fairy. And play a land. All right, cool. So now we're floating a 1 on top. We will continue to float a 1 on top, so we'll do this one, and then Path to Exile. We'll play a land, and we'll pass the turn. Man, this was excruciatingly slow, this game. Bowman Courier. Yeah, let's counter it. Just floating a 1 on top. All right, cool. Finally, opponent finally concedes. Yikes. All right, that took so long. All right. Any changes? I mean, there's a chance that, like, Spell Quellers are good, but we also need Terminuses. Like, they have a bunch of creatures. Yeah, I guess we're just going to submit like that. Well, maybe our opponent will mulligan a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't want to play another Jace, I don't think. The counterbalance is good, but it wasn't that good. Well, I guess the counterbalance is pretty good. But we only have 8 1s. Like, this deck is, it's really good if you can do the Jace counterbalance thing, because, like, they're never going to be able to resolve a spell. But at the same time, you know. Yeah, so we definitely have to hope that the opponent mulligans, plays a couple of creatures, then we Terminus, and then we Timely. So we want to go tap land, Terminus, Timely is probably our ideal 1, 2, 3. Or Terminus, like Path, plus that or something. Not this hand. Yeah, not this hand. This one's theoretically better. We just put back the most expensive spell, as usual. Alright, Soulscar Mage. Prairie Stream. Alright, so I guess we'll start with that. So hopefully our opponent doesn't go, like, Manamorphose here. If they go Manamorpho... Well, actually, I guess that's not the worst. Another Soulscar Mage, okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Play an island and pass. We have a mana leak up, but we're still probably going to take, you know, like 10 damage this next turn here. Abbot of Carol Keep. Alright, so that we can mana leak. Force Negation's a pretty solid draw. It means that hopefully we don't just die to some random sequence of burn spells or something. Ugh. But we're really not drawn very well outside of that. I don't want to force anything because our hand doesn't do anything outside of the force. So let's hope that we can just draw Terminus. Alright, they are killing the Teferi, so the Teferi has at least gained us 2 life. And drew us a card. There's another Soulscar Mage. See if they put the Gigantha in their hand. They do. Okay. Mana Leak. Yeah, I guess we'll just put the Misty, play the Misty, and pass. Bomat Courier's fine. Alright, really need a Terminus here. No. Okay. Now we take a little bit of damage. Bolt us. Think we Mana Leak that? Seems fine to Mana Leak, yeah. Burst Lightning. Okay. So that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it'll drop us to 1. I'm not going to force that. Alright, we're at 1. We got some good draws. Forced Negation is not really one of them. Alright, so we have a lot of Terminuses that we could hit, and we also have a couple of Timely Reinforcements. I'm trying to think of like what we're going to be more likely to hit. It would be definitely Terminus. So I guess we just pass. Yay. Seems bad. This just seems like a bad plan. Alright, they play. So we know their one card in hand is Gigantha. Should have done this before combat. Yeah, I should have done this before combat. Because if this is Cryptic Command... okay, it is Terminus, though. That's good. Miracle, Terminus. But yeah, if that was Cryptic Command, we could have been in trouble. I mean, we still might be in trouble because our opponent is going to get to play a Gigantha, and we don't have an answer to it right now. We have a Force of Negation. Okay, our opponent's discarding Gigantha, though. That's interesting. Okay. Is a Lava Dart. Well, luckily we have the... Oh, I can just cast it. Like I say, luckily we have the best answer to that. I also almost tapped the wrong mana. Alright. So there's that. Then our opponent exiles a card. Cool. And then we play Counterbalance. And we float a 1. Cool. Alright. We're doing good now. Well, we're not doing good, but we're getting there. So we got a 1 on top, so we can't just die. Alright, opponent plays a land, so this is good for us. We have an opt, so we will opt. Terminus is bad. Is a land good? No, because if we draw Jace, we're going to want to play it. So we are now dead to... We're dead to a Haster. Unless we have a 1 on top. Abbot of Carroll Keep. Jace the Mind Sculptor on top, okay. Into Arid Vesa, okay. Alright, this is pretty wild. Alright, so we play Jace, and then am I supposed to bounce the Abbot of Carroll Keep? No, we can't. That can't be right. Oh, there's a Timely. Alright, so we go this and force on. All right, it's important that we get this right. So we want to go. We have a Frantic Inventory in the graveyard, so we want to go land. No, because we want to draw the land on. Yeah, we want to draw the land on top. So we are going to shuffle away a card, and I guess it's going to be Frantic Inventory. So we're going to go Frantic Inventory, land. I know, but then we want to be able to possibly counter a 2. Yeah, whatever. All right. Relic of Progenitus. It's a good one there. It's actually really good. All right. Yeah, good for our opponent. Nice. But they drew a land. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. All right. Whew. Finally got there. That was interesting. Probably not the best content, but yeah, we would have drawn well. So that would have been the 4 cards we saw in the last turn. We would have put back Frantic Inventory and Terminus, and then we would have fetched, and we had Force and Archmage's Charm up. Cool. All right, everyone, 4-0. Let's get that trophy. I'm keeping this hand. It doesn't have a Terminus in it. It doesn't have a Mystic Sanctuary in it. So we're keeping those hands. I'm assuming the opponent's playing Burn or Boggles. Those are like the only 2 decks that actually play Lurrus. And it's Boggles. And we are... Oh, no, it's not Boggles. Ah, damn it. All right. It's... Oh, it's a matchup where we're going to have a really good... oh, man, what's that card called? Containment Priest. It's a great Containment Priest matchup. Exactly. All right. We're going to shock that in, give us the ability to... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, their opponent's just going to Eldamri's Call? Okay. Let's just opt into opt. I guess we're going to bottom that. That stinks. All right. I'm getting a little too emphatic here. It's too late. We're getting into the later parts of the night here, and I'm getting a little, not crabby. Crabby's the wrong word, but I'm getting a little bit overly irritated at things that shouldn't irritate me. We do have a really good setup here. Yeah, so this is going to be Eldamri's Call. Yeah. Sure. For Devoted Druid, our opponent will cast Devoted Druid, and then we can path it, and we could also just opt and see what happens. Maybe we want to do that. Maybe we could hit another Terminus. Yeah, we do want lands, though, so we'll top that. And then I will path the Devoted Druid. They can use Teferi. Oh, okay, so they're just going to let it resolve. That's fine. I was going to say they could use the ability twice to just fizzle that path, and it would go to the graveyard. So the fact that they didn't do that leads me to believe that they might be playing or not be playing as many of the reanimate spells in their main deck as I previously thought they might be. All right, so Giver of Runes. Oh, cool. They're playing the. This is awesome. Yeah, another creature gains indestructible until end of turn. That's so cool. All right, and Duskwatch Recruiter. Sure. All right, so we need to get this Terminus from the top of our library to the battlefield, or from our hand to, yeah. You know the words that I was saying there. All right, so we can bounce Duskwatch Recruiter, or we could just play Jace and Brainstorm, and then Jace will die, but then we Terminus the next turn. It seems pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so we're gonna plus Teferi. I'm not too worried about that. And then we're gonna play Jace, and then we'll Brainstorm. Ooh, that's unfortunate that we don't have a Oh wait, hold on. I think I did that right. Uh-oh. I meant to undo that, and instead I just apparently clicked OK right through it. So hopefully we got a Terminus on top. If we don't, I mean, we'll probably still be okay, but that's not great. I'm saying it was unfortunate we don't have another blue card that we can use to pitch to Force Negation. So that's not great. But I don't think we can just die here. They don't have one in the graveyard, so... Alright, what's this going at? It's going at Jace, that's fine. Sure. Alright, our opponent has to play main phase, which is nice because of this Teferi. So they can't just, like, not do something here. I mean, I guess they could, but it just seems incorrect to do so. Yeah, here comes Collected Company. Alright, cool. Oh, Finale of Devastation. Sure. I'm trying to think of what could they... Oh, just a Devoted Druid. Sure. Okay. Reveal Terminus. Alright, and we'll play a Polluted Delta, and I guess we'll just tick up, because then we can down tick twice. We can also always put a Terminus back on top if we feel like we want to. If the opponent plays Lurrus here, which I guess they're not going to. Another Finale is fine, I think. Just path it. Sure, opponent's just going to kill it. That's fine. Alright, we will cash in a free draw here. And kind of whiff. So that's not great, but okay. Alright, they put Lurrus in hand. And they play Selfless Savior, which is a cool card. Yeah, I guess we'll just take a draw step. Alright, Opt is pretty good. Yeah, we'll just play a land here, and we'll probably plan on flipping a Terminus during our opponent's turn sometime. They'll probably go Lurrus, and then maybe cast Devoted Druid, and then we Terminus. I think that's going to be our tentative plan. Teferi will take a damage. Sure, Lurrus is fine. They play Bauble. Bauble's fine. Mystic Sanctuary, target Terminus. reveal that. Okay. I don't think this is going to do what our opponent thinks it will, but okay. Oh, maybe they just wanted the thing in the graveyard. That makes sense then. Yeah, that's totally fine then. Alright, that was the card we drew for the turn, so there's that. And then I guess we don't want to play that land from our hand. Because we might want to Terminus again at some point. Post-mortem lunge the Devoted Druid. Okay, that's fine. Vizier of Remedies. Alright, we'll just path the Devoted Druid. So they do have the post-mortem lunge, which is what I was kind of worried about before. Alright, and they're going to take this opportunity to shuffle their Lurrus back in, which I really can't blame them for. And there's the Vizier, okay? Okay, we drew Mana Leak, which is not that useful. Let's draw like a Cryptic or something here. Another Teferi, okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just pass. That's fine. Their card went back to their hand. It's a little less scary there. They're going to play it again? Oh, they're going to Eldamri's Call. I guess we'll just force this. Haven't found much else to force recently, so might as well do that. And then we can actually use this Mana Leak. Oh, there we go. Jace. Alright, perfect. So we'll play Jace. Take this up. Brainstorm. Ooh, Counterbalance. Alright, so we'll go... Opt. Oh, no, I guess we... So we'll go Teferi, search for Azcanta, play Mystic Sanctuary, put... I don't know. I guess we'll put... Well, we have a 2 on top anyway, so we'll just say no to this. Just say no. And then we'll play a Counterbalance. Cool. Alright, so this should lock up this game pretty well now. I mean, I suppose our opponent can play some cards that are pretty good against us, but... A Walking Ballista or X's 3. That's actually one of the gooder, or the better ones. So we just have to put Terminus on top then. So, weird. Didn't think I'd be countering things with Terminus like this, but... Yeah, there we go. Alright, Terminus is converted mana cost 6, which would counter Walking Ballista. Sweet. Alright, so now we're doing the same kind of thing that we were before, except we're going to get to play Containment Priests, which are really sweet in this matchup. So Containment Priests are good. Aether Gusts get rid of green stuff. So these are all good. Aether Gusts is just really good right now. Cut a Counterbalance, because our opponent will probably bring Graveyard Hate. Cut a Search for Azcanta for the same reason. Cut a Jace because we eventually need to win the game, but not right away. Forces are a little bit better in this matchup than they were in the last one, but maybe we can cut one still, just because they can so easily just like kill us naturally. And Cryptic Command's a little slow, so maybe something like this. That'll bring in enough green cards, enough ways to remove green spells, plus we got the Containment Priests and then the Terminuses. Let's hope that this is good enough. Alright, can we keep this hand? Opponent mulligans. Yeah, it's got an Aether Gust, so it has interaction. It doesn't have Terminus. I think that just generally means keep. Oh, and no turn 1 play. Oh, and Containment Priests. Oh, man. Alright. This is potentially very exciting. See if maybe the opponent will cast like a Devastation or something like that, and then we can just Containment Priest them. I doubt it, though. Alright. There's Devoted Druid. So we will get a Hallowed Fountain here. Another Containment Priest. Okay. So I'm going to fetch now, so that way we can play around instant speed things a little bit better. Generally, if you're planning on using the mana, you should fetch early. If you're not planning on using the mana, you should not fetch with this deck. So there's a variety of different things that could happen here, but see what our opponent does. We could still die. I mean, they have 5 mana this turn. That's a lot of mana. I don't think our opponent is capable of beating us at instant speed. That's something I got to think about for a second. Can our opponent beat us at instant speed? They can generate infinite mana, but can they kill us at infinite speed? They could. They can't. They can draw their whole deck, I guess, but they can't actually kill us. Oh, this is not good. Yikes. Am I supposed to just untap here? So I can Aether Gust their Devoted Druid if they have Veil of Summer. That's just a disaster. Yeah, alright, we're just untapping. Wow. Alright. I guess that's fine. Vizier of Remedies. Yikes. Alright, I guess we're gonna shoot the Containment Priest here. And we'll see. We'll just hope they don't have a way to make an X spell. So we'll see what their way is of winning the game here. Maybe they have it in hand, maybe not. But I think if we Aether Gusted, they were just going to Veil of Summer, and this shuts off a majority of the cards in their deck. So they'd have to naturally have one of their ways to find something here. Which they certainly could have. I mean, they... Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep, so they naturally have it. I wonder if they did have Veil of Summer. They probably did. I mean, they just, you know. But we're just going to submit this back again. This seems pretty good. I suppose... I mean, there's certainly a few things we got to think about there, like... You know, when the opponent just doesn't do anything like that, that probably is a bad sign for us. The Eldamri's Call was something I wasn't considering. I assumed they had, like, Collected Company. but I don't even know if these... I mean, but you can't really tell with the new meta, of course, but I didn't even know if they were playing that. But I know they play Court of Calling for sure. So I thought maybe they were going to try to Court end of turn, and then we could counter it using the Containment Priest. But instead they just went Eldamri's Call, which was a really good play by them, and we didn't have a very good answer for. I was worried about Aether Gusting something once it's on the battlefield because of Veil of Summer, and I'm assuming they're playing probably 3 or 4 Veils of Summer, probably 4. So, and we would have just lost on the spot if that was the case. This is super borderline. We've got a Mystic Sand. I'm going to keep this hand. I might regret that, but I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is very good with the Terminus hands and such, so I'm just going to go ahead and fetch this out for maximum F6 value and hope they don't do anything too scary here. There's nothing I would opt for here, so yeah, Noble Hierarch's fine. Okay. And bubble. Okay. Not a great start. Alright, there's Devoted Druid. And there's Noble Hierarch, okay. So we have 3 looks at a Terminus. So we have three looks at like an 8%er. And I believe we'll keep a path too. Terminus? No. Okay. We're not going to fetch because we put a card on the bottom that we know is bad. Okay, the opponent doesn't have anything, so this is good. Opponent is also not doing anything. Alright, and our opponent casts what? Nothing? 2, 3, 4. Collected Company? Finale of Devastation, X is 2. This might be wrong forcing this. Yeah. There's the Veil of Summer. Sure. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. And we'll let them show me a win condition, but okay, there it is. All right. Well, unfortunately, we only went 4-1. We couldn't get that trophy, but I do think that in general this deck's pretty good. I do think that's a horrible matchup, and I think we played it pretty well, honestly. But anyway, let me know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's open these chests and see what we get, because M20 cards were just released in it. So I have 5 chests here, and we'll open them. See if we pick up any jumpstart cards. Let's see. Okay, we got a Sorin. That's pretty good. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a whale. We got a Zerda, which is somehow banned. Yeah, we didn't get very much. That's all right, though. What's this thing? Never seen that card before. All right. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the content. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.